Detroit and listeners around the world, happy Wednesday. You are listening to WJZZ Cool TV, and this is Nurse Charms Live. I am your host, Nurse Charms, here to bring you the most accurate and up to date information in health, wellness, nursing, and medicine. If you are just tuning in for the first time, you will see me live every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. Take a note so you know when to tune in and watch me live, okay? So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to all of my faithful supporters. This is my second week back on the air. As you know, I took a little break, but I'm back and I'm just so excited to be here because y'all know I love being in front of the cameras and I love talking to my audience and I love engaging with everybody. So I'm back. I'm going strong. Still working out some kinks in terms of I have my music and my setup, and I'll have all that going soon. So just kind of bear with me. But for now, I am back. Okay, so you can catch me on Wednesdays, 1 to 2 p.m. So first and foremost, just thank you to all of my faithful supporters who are tuned in. And before I get into the topic for today, I always tell people about my background. I'm an experienced registered nurse of 21 years. So, as someone who has been in the nursing profession for 21 years, it's important for me to shed light and break down important topics in medicine so that everyone can understand what is going on in health news, okay? Health is so important that we cover health news. I mean, I know there's entertainment topics out here, celebrity gossip, there's sports. I mean, there's so many things that's going on, but health is important because everything starts with our health. Um, if we don't take care of our bodies, if we don't take care of our bodies, we can't do anything. We can't go to our jobs. We can't go to our jobs. We can't take care of our children. If some of us have children, you know, we can't be active partners in our relationships, marriages. So it's very important that we take care of our bodies. So I always talk about health. Okay, so that's what my platform is about. I'm a registered nurse. I want everyone to take care. I want to help give education so that everybody knows how to take care of their body so you can live longer. When we live longer, our communities become healthier. So it's just so important to talk about the topics of health. Okay. And my hopes with this show are that individuals will use this information to make choices that will benefit their life. And in addition, when individuals make better choices, like I said, our communities become healthier and we can all live a more productive life. So as I said, I am a registered nurse of 21 years and currently I am employed at a local hospital. I don't really put any information about my hospital out there because that's separate. You're going to hear me say in my disclaimer in just a moment how I'm not being endorsed. Okay. So I'm a free agent. All my thoughts are my own. But, I do want people to know that I am actively seeing patients in the hospital. So a lot of the stuff that I bring to you is relevant from what I'm seeing in practice every day. So that also adds a benefit to your learning as well as you're listening to my show. I'm also a licensed massage therapist. For those of you who do not know, yes, I'm a registered nurse and a licensed massage therapist. I have a business. I'm an entrepreneur, been in business for 11 years now. So that's another cool, interesting thing about me. So I'm always pro entrepreneur, so I'll always be supportive, and I'll be bringing some guests on that are entrepreneurs. We can have some conversations because there's a lot of my health professionals that have amazing businesses on that I want to get them on this platform so that you all can become familiar with them as well. So that's pretty much my background. I'm sticking with it, and I'm going to always start off my show letting y'all know I have my street creds, okay? However, this is also the people show, okay? So that means that I want to hear all of y'all's opinions on my topic. So please call into my show, okay? The number here is 313-355-6018. Again, the number here is 313-355-6018. Okay. And I want all of you to chime in on the discussions that we have so that we can hear from you. I will always do my best to answer your questions with research and facts. And for those of you who are watching the show on the Facebook page, Introduce yourself in the comments. If this is your first time, let me know. Or if you've been a long time supporter of Nurse Charms, let me know. I want to know all these things. So just drop a comment, or drop a heart emoji and just let me know that you're here. I want you to share this video. Okay, so just take a quick moment and hit that share button, hit that like button. Let everybody know that you are tuned into Nurse Charms Live. Okay, and then if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. Okay, I want everybody to subscribe so you can follow my content and keep up with what's going on. And also it lets the algorithm know that this is good content and that they'll continue to show this video to more and more people so we can get this content out there. And last thing, like I said, I always have to give this disclaimer that I am not being endorsed. Not me. If I ever have any guests on here, none of my guests are being endorsed. I want everybody to know that I'm sharing my own knowledge and experience with hopes it will be educational and add value to everyone listening. But please remember, this is very, very important. This show is for educational purposes and not diagnosing purposes. So please always remember to consult your personal physician, okay? So today, I want to talk about emotions. That is what we're talking about. If you were late to the beginning of this show, now you know we're talking about emotions, okay? And I have a question. I want to ask everyone, why is everyone so emotional? Think about that for a minute. Everyone is so emotional. Everybody's so angry. And I mean, it's beginning to set off red flags. Because why are you letting somebody control your behavior? Why are people doing that? Why are people so emotional? When you're emotional, yes, you are. People probably don't want to admit that, but yes, you are letting people control your behavior. I mean, that's really what it is, whether you want to be honest about it or not. When you become angry, you're allowing someone to control your reactions and your mindset. So y'all got to stop letting people do that to you. Seriously. So that is what we're going to talk about, because you're giving others too much power when you do that. So I want to talk about this. I want to know, let's talk about how you handle these situations. So again, if you're on the feed, leave some comments, engage with me about this topic. I want to know, sound off, tell me your thoughts. And we're going to get into this, a little bit deeper, because how you handle these types of situations, it will literally negatively impact your life in the long run. Okay. And let me tell you why y'all are getting emotional and angry. Let's talk about that. Why are you getting so emotional and angry? Because y'all don't want to admit that either. So why you are getting emotional and angry is because you are triggered, right? Somebody says something to you, you don't like it, and you get triggered. And normally you're triggered because it comes from a place of insecurity. So maybe someone was talking about you as a child. Who knows? Maybe you got teased or bullied or whatever, or maybe you didn't feel loved, or whatever it can be. I mean, I can just go on and on with possibilities, but that triggers you. Okay, it comes from somewhere deep inside you. That emotion is like it just resurfaces. So if somebody calls you a name, or if somebody does something that you don't like, you get triggered. And like I said, it comes from a place of insecurity. Yes, it's true. Y'all may not want to admit it, but y'all know I speak the truth. And it brings up something that, like I said, you don't like. It makes you feel uncomfortable with this emotion. And for some people, it causes them to snap to a point where you may even curse somebody out over this. It may cause you to be violent. We all know that communication breakdown is one of the biggest reasons. I mean, shoot, why anything happens, why anybody falls out. It's always over some type of communication that occurred. Somebody didn't like what the other person said. And that's how people fall out of relationships. And we're going to check those behaviors on that show. Okay. Um, and when, and the crazy thing about this, let me drink some water really quick. Sorry. I'm doing this show all by myself. Like in the past, I've been had co-hosts and stuff like that. So if I had to take some water, so I could just jump in and keep talking. But nope, it's just me. I want y'all to just get a chance to just connect with me personally. I won't always have co-hosts on this show. I won't always have guests or anything like that. Y'all just gonna be rocking with me. So let me know what you think. But so it's like when all of this stuff is going on, we're in our emotions. It's like we don't even stop and think how you've just allowed someone to literally ruin your entire day. And I'm not just trying to yell at people because I mean I've been this way as well. So as I teach and educate and bring this up, I'm also sharing my own personal experiences and stuff. It's not like I'm so perfect that that's never happened to me, but yeah, that's what it does to you when you get trapped up in these emotions because you are triggered by something. It will just ruin your entire day. It's true, right? Haven't you had someone say something or do something and it just totally knocked you off your square where you have just got like, so it just totally interrupted everything. Now you're just focusing on this when it's like, why did I even allow this person? So yeah, like I said, and when you all get so emotional and angry, your blood pressure goes up. You don't need People do not need their blood pressure up, especially people who already have high blood pressure. So you're just making a known problem even worse. Your blood pressure is up, your heart rate is up. It's the full or the fight or flight that hormones that kick in, and you're in full blown fight. You're like, okay, let's fight. And none of this is good. None of this is a good strategy. And it just results in tit for tat behavior and all things that are destructive. I mean, that's just what it is. All these, like I said, like having high blood pressure, having a high heart rate, it just causes stress on your heart, and just long run, that is not good. We know that heart disease is one of the number one killers of people in this world. So you don't need any of those extra things just because you were triggered going on with your health. So we don't need that type of energy. We need people that are loving and enjoying their lives and, feeling productive and feeling happy so that you can radiate positive energy into someone else's life. We are blessed to be a blessing to others, right? Isn't that true? I mean, every day, you have to just ask yourself, what have you done to change someone else's life? That's what life is about, right? Just being a blessing to others, helping to change someone else's life, being impactful. Those are the things we want to do. Those are the positive and productive behaviors that we want to have, not this negative, destructive behavior. So again, let me know in the comments. Again, you are watching Nurse Charms Live. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on Twitter and other top social media platforms. I need y'all to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know you here. It's not enough to just watch the show. I need y'all to engage, okay? So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please continue to watch Nurse Charms Live on WJZZ Cool TV. I also want to talk about how people give advice to just cut out all the negative people. Have y'all ever heard that before? They'll be like, "Oh, well, I don't have no drama, or I don't do drama, or I don't do those things because I just cut out everybody." I don't know that personally I can agree with that, because I mean, just if you just think common sense, if you just think of the rationale for that, I mean, that basically gives the perception that we live in boxes and we'll never see another negative person again. So if you're the type of person just like, oh well, I cut people off. My cutoff game is strong. And no, because what's going to happen? I mean, basically you're insinuating that okay, you won't never you could have had this relationship with this person and y'all fell out, and you just found out some things about this person, or y'all had a big disagreement, argument, whatever, and you're like, okay, I cut them off. Does that mean that you'll never come across another negative person? No, it doesn't. That is not the reality of the world that we live in. This isn't a perfect place. You're gonna go to another job, you're gonna go to an event, a store, you're gonna have a family member, another friend. Somebody is going to come into your life, and you are going to be faced with a new negative person, a new negative experience again. So that's not a productive way of handling your stress and your anger. And we're going to get into this shortly about how you handle this, but right now I'm just kind of setting the foundation of, yes, is this is true. It's I feel like it's almost a epidemic of just angry people out here. Like, we need to control our emotions. Like, I just started off this show. If you're just joining us now, I started off this show just asking the question, why are people so emotional? Why are people so angry? We have to address this because, like I was just saying, negative health effects, your heart rate, your blood pressure. So we don't need these negative impact to our health with carrying around these negative emotions. um so like I said, so that whole theory of just cutting people off, it doesn't work. Life isn't a notebook. You can't just erase this person out of your life and just boom, they're gone. It doesn't work like that. And also, if it worked like that, where you could just like erase somebody out of your life, and they're gone, maybe that person is gone before somebody else comes along and upsets you, causes you to be angry or whatever, you would never have the opportunity to learn and grow in your emotions, right? I mean, just doesn't that make sense? It's true, but doesn't that even make sense? If you just lived in a perfect box and just never had any type of interactions. Now, again, I'm not saying, okay, um, well, go out and just be around all these negative people so you can learn the lesson. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when you're faced with this circumstance, you have to know how to learn the lesson. And like I said, we're going to get into that in a little bit. And then when I say trigger, let me just kind of clarify something, because I'm not talking about like, uh, post-traumatic stress. Some people really have that as a real diagnosis. I'm talking about like the everyday day-to-day situations and occurrences that happen in your life, where something triggers you, and it takes you to a place where you allow yourself to get angry. And like I said, the reason why you allow yourself to get angry is because there is a place of insecurity. It's true. Don't sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm not insecure." Everybody has insecurities. If you don't have a single insecurity, you're not human. You're not being honest with yourself. Come on now. We know we're not perfect. We all have insecurities. And but we can improve. We can learn how to handle these situations. So as I said, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So, when you're faced with these individuals, the most important thing is learning how to diffuse this situation. And as human beings, it's part of our DNA to grow and mature and learn how to manage these challenging situations with people. So just think about a situation where someone was just pushing your buttons, and how did you handle that? Tell me that in the comments. I want to know how you handled that. Think of a situation where someone was pushing your buttons, and how did you handle that? Were you able to pull back your emotions, or did you just pop off? Did you just go from, what is it, 0 to 100 real quick? Did you just go to 0 to 100 real quick? Did you pop off? Or were you able to pull back and just kind of do the woo-saw thing and just kind of literally think this through? Like, how am I going to handle this situation? And I also want to get into how people are normalizing this toxic behavior, um, because there's a lot of that as well. And I mean, it's like society is just normalizing a whole lot of stuff that shouldn't be normalized these days. So there's this term, we're going to keep that same energy. So that right there is toxic. It's toxic and it's childish. So as we talk about why people are so angry, if somebody acts ugly and nasty to you, you don't want to keep that same energy. Okay? No. You want to communicate with this person, or either just remove yourself. You got one or two options. Either just remove yourself from that person or that situation and just be like, nope, I'm not gonna let this happen. Like, no, you are not going to mess up. I'm not going to give you that much power. You're not going to control how I feel, because anger is an emotion and it has to be provoked, triggered. So you have to give somebody that power and that control. And I don't like being controlled. That's why I don't do drugs or marijuana. People say it's a herb, plant, whatever, but I don't do any drugs. I don't like doing anything because for that one important reason, like I don't like being controlled. So I don't want nobody controlling my emotions. I don't want nobody making me angry. I mean, although I do and have gotten, but I'm working and I'm growing and I'm trying to get better at this every day, for the simple fact that I don't want to be controlled. You're not about to control my emotions. You're not about to say something that can make me get off my square. You ain't got that much power over me. Sorry. So this whole culture of normalizing toxic behavior and normalizing this tit for tat behavior. If you follow me on social media, I posted a video yesterday, and this guy was just talking about relationships, and he was just saying how talking about social media, like if you post him, he'll post you. If you keep him private, he'll keep you private. If you act like you single, he'll act like you single. If you play games, he'll play games. He was like, and then he was like, if you don't put me first, if you don't put me first, then I'm going to put you last. Like, it was like the whole thing he was saying. And I mean, this thing just got like so many views on my page, but even before I shared it, because I got it from somewhere else on the internet or whatever. But, and like, you just look at comments and people like, yeah, they like, yeah, yep, keep that same energy. And I mean, I have a lot of smart people on my page. I have to brag. I love all my following, y'all. So thank you for all y'all support. But like when I shared it on my page, all of my direct followers, everybody pretty much was unified in like, nah, this is childish. We ain't doing this. And it was just so refreshing to just see a whole group of people. This is diverse, white, black, women, men, just everybody in general, out of all my following, was just basically saying like, nah, this is childish. This is too much energy. Like, we ain't got time for all this. Like, if somebody wants to play games, deuces, we out. Nobody's going to be playing games. And that's good, because like I said, we don't need to be normalizing this whole tit for tat culture, this whole keep that same energy culture, because it's destructive, it's toxic, and we have to let it go. We seriously have to let it go. We have to mature, and we have to move on. So let's just talk about when we're in these situations where somebody is pushing your button and you feel angry. First thing, you need to just kind of ask yourself, excuse me for, again, I need to drink some water. 1 second. You need to just ask yourself, just be honest with yourself. Just sit in a room by yourself, look in the mirror. That's the best thing to do. Look in the mirror and just be honest with yourself. And it's like, what wound is this opening up? Why am I so triggered by this? Why? If somebody says something about you, somebody calls you, I don't know, somebody calls you ugly, somebody calls you, I don't know, too short, too fat, whatever it is, or stupid, an idiot, whatever it is, broke, That's a big thing. Everybody calling people broke, or just any type of derogatory thing. Just think and ask yourself, why am I triggered? Like where is this? Why is this making me feel this way? Like, why can't I just kind of laugh and just be like, whatever, I don't care. Like whatever you say about me doesn't affect me because I know who I am. Like, where's all the positive? Give yourself positive self-talk. Like, I know who I am. This person can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I know who I am. Like that's how I had to learn to handle these situations. When somebody tries to say something derogatory about me, they don't like me for whatever reason, you know, okay, not everybody's gonna like me, and I understand that, and I'm okay with that as well. So that's fine. Like, if it was something that I personally did, let's talk about it, because I don't want to just be out here intentionally doing things to make people upset at me, so I want to be accountable. If it's something that I did unconsciously, unknowingly or something like that, let's talk about it. But if you don't want to have a conversation with me and tell me what I did, if you just want to form your opinion, okay, well, fine, just do that. Like, I'm just gonna remove myself. We don't have to talk anymore, and that's how I'm gonna handle it, like a mature adult. I'm not about to sit here and go tit for tat with you, and I'm not gonna sit here and let what you have to say affect and change who I am. I'm not gonna let it open up any wounds, because there are no wounds. I know who I am. I'm confident with who I am. I love and appreciate myself. I love and value myself. So whatever you're trying to say, like, it's kind of like Zoom. It just goes over. It doesn't even matter. Like, we have to become stronger, and more capable of doing this. And so that will decrease, some of the anger and stuff that occurs when, these words or whatever happens to just trigger us and open up some wounds. And then another thing, forgive yourself. Everybody's not a perfect person. Okay. We already know that. That's like, goes without saying. Nobody's perfect. So whatever you've done in your past, or whatever, maybe you only know, maybe it's something you're going to take to the grave or whatever, or maybe others know. At the end of the day, forgive yourself, because for whatever you were going through at that period of time in your life, maybe you weren't as mature. Maybe you didn't have as much knowledge to make that decision. Maybe you made the wrong decision based on you didn't have enough knowledge, or you just didn't know. Or it was just something stupid. You knew, but you just chose to do something stupid. For whatever it is, healing these wounds, we have to just forgive ourselves, and it takes and sometimes, it really does take people a long time to forgive themselves. I don't know why people don't want to let go, but it's like, or and that's what happens. It's like other people bring up these things that maybe we have forgiven ourselves about, but then somebody says something to trigger us, and and it opens those wounds. So try to keep those wounds closed by, this is my advice and tips I'm giving. Try to keep those wounds closed by forgiving yourself, healing yourself. And when someone does try to take you down that path again, nope. like shut it down immediately. It's you know what it is? It's almost like you have to retrain your brain. You have to literally retrain your thinking. So when somebody says something that may offend you, may cause you to get anger, trigger you, or whatever, you have to retrain your thinking. Like, nope. You're not about to take me down this place again. You're not about to make me feel how I felt 10 years ago when I did something that I was ashamed of at the time, or I did something that I didn't like, or maybe you didn't like. No, you're not going to take me down that path again. I've forgiven myself. God has forgiven me, and it's done. So what you are saying is not going to trigger these type of emotions. But yeah, so just think of a time where somebody has, said something to trigger, and how you responded to them. I can think of something because y'all know I'm on social media a lot, and everybody wants to be social media gangsters. And